Dear students, greetings of the day. Welcome you all to the APPC course, that is Apparel Production Planning and Control. So in the last sessions we are discussing about the marker planning. So what is exactly the marker? What are the points to be considered while preparing the marker? What are the requirements? And what is exactly the marker efficiency? How we can calculate the marker efficiency? What are the different types of markers and how we can prepare, that is manual marker making and the computerized marker making. Okay, so this session particularly will discuss about marker making for garment styles from different fabric types. So as I earlier told that there are different types of fabrics. So like such as like plain fabrics, stripes and checks type of fabrics. Okay, there are different types of fabrics available in the present scenario. So this session we will discuss how these type of fabrics are going to be used while preparing the marker. So for particularly like different garment styles using different type of fabrics, how we can prepare the marker and how and what are the points to be considered in each and every stage we will discuss in this particular session. So let us look out what are the different types of fabrics we have. So you can observe here warp waist stripes, that is warp waist stripes and weft waist stripes. So in the warp waist stripes and weft waist stripes, you can observe that there are symmetric patterns and there are asymmetric patterns. So you can observe that in the first image of the warp wise stripe patterns or the warp wise stripe fabric. So the symmetric design, you can observe that there are two different colors were used in the fabric. And if you observe the particularly one color and the second color, both the colors, the number of warp threads in the fabric is same. So you can see that the purple color, the dark purple and the violet colors, there are two colors, and you can observe that the quantities, that number of threads in particular section or particular stripe is equal. So equal number of warp threads are present in the particular type of fabric. So these type of fabrics, whether it is in the warp way direction or in the weft way direction, if the pattern size, if the color size is equal, then we can say that these type of fabrics are called as the symmetric patterns or symmetric stripe patterns. So warp wise nothing but warp stripes, and if the two colors are used as a weft and one color used as a warp, in that case the weft stripes are going to be present. So you can see that the symmetric pattern and asymmetric pattern, you can observe that there are three different colors or four different colors or two different colors, but the pattern size, the white color and the purple color, the pattern sizes are different, not equal. So it is an asymmetric type of warp stripes and the weft stripes. And you can observe the similar kind of trend in the checks design. You can observe that the warp stripe, warp wise stripe asymmetry and warp wise stripe symmetric and weft wise stripes asymmetric. Nothing but one side, that is warp wise it is symmetric, but in the weft wise there is an asymmetric. And if you observe the third image, blue color, both are symmetric. That is why you will look like all the square boxes in different colors. Okay, so the warp wise stripes symmetric or asymmetric and weft wise stripes symmetric or asymmetric is going to be, you can see in this particular image, and you can see that these are the different types or different design types of fabrics you can have. So the color patterns, particularly the color patterns, whether it is an asymmetric or symmetric, is going to be very important while preparing the marker. So let us see the lookout of the how the marker making for styles made from the fabrics with stripes. So you can observe here the image A, B, C, D, E, F. There are total 6 images I have shown here. So symmetric patterns and asymmetric patterns in the warp-wise stripes and weft-wise stripes are shown here, and you can see that the A image is symmetric. Okay, so in the length direction it is symmetric, and you can see that the B figure, so A to C, you can observe that A to C, these are position of stripes in lengthwise direction, and in cross direction you can see that D to F, and with the symmetrical arrangement of stripes, and A, B, D, E with the and asymmetric arrangement of stripes for C and F. So particularly C and F images are asymmetrical arrangement, A, B, D, E are the symmetrical arrangements, and cross directions are shown and length directions are shown. So you can see that the cross direction nothing but weft-wise stripes, whether it is symmetric or asymmetric patterns, and in the warp-wise, that is length-wise direction also shown, and these are again symmetric patterns or asymmetric pattern. So the stripes, whether it is symmetric or asymmetric, as shown in these particular 6 images. Okay, so in the previous slide also I have shown the complete fabrics of stripes and checks as well. Okay, and you can see here the fabric with lengthwise stripes. If the fabric is having the lengthwise stripes, see that you can see, observe A and B images, the placement of a central line, that is grain line we are talking or center line we are talking. So you can see that the back on the center of stripes. So you can see that the back panel are kept on the fabric, and you can see that how this is going to be used or placed, the patterns are placed on the fabric by considering the stripes of the fabric is. So by considering the stripes of the fabric, so as per the stripes, so now we are going to keep the pattern as per the or according to the stripes of the fabric. Okay, so you can see that the figure at the bottom, placement of asymmetrical patterns on the details. So asymmetrical patterns are shown in that particular image. Okay, so the fabrics which we have are lengthwise stripes. After these panels are cut, it looks like the bottom image. So the stripes are going to be formed if you change the displacement of the panel or displacement of the pattern on the fabric. So the first image A, it is exactly kept at the middle of the particular asymmetrical pattern, and at the B, the placement of the panel or the placement of pattern on the stripes. So in between the particular stripe, the grain line or center line of the pattern has kept. So the change of the pattern is going to be having if you place the pattern pieces on the fabric, okay, by matching or mismatching of the panel on the fabric. Then you can see here the placement of large symmetrical pattern pieces in a marker. So you can see that there are different panels, that is front bodies, back bodies, sleeves, collars. So you can see that the lengthwise, the warp-wise striped pattern fabric, how these patterns are kept on the fabric, and how these patterns or the grain lines on the pattern is going to be matched with the stripes on the fabric specimen. So on the fabric stripes, so you can observe that image number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there are grain lines on the pattern, and these grain lines are going to be matched with the symmetrical pattern of the fabric piece. So you can observe that the lines are going to be matched with the pattern or with the stripes on the fabric. Otherwise what will happen, after, if it is not followed, then what will happen, after the components are cut or the panels are cut from the fabric, now these panels after the attachment, so there should not be any matching of the patterns from the front bodies to the back bodies, and from the front bodies and back bodies to the sleeve. Okay, sleeve to sleeve variation will be there. So there are so many stripe pattern variations are going to be occurred if you are not followed any kind of grain lines, or if you are not followed any center lines on the patterns. So that is why it is very important. And one of the most important thing is, the fabric is our input material and very important thing or important material. For example, if you cut the component or if you cut the fabric, after the cutting, if you are wrongly cut or wrongly planned for marker, then after cutting there is no use of the fabric after components. So you are wasting your raw material, you are wasting the fabric. So again, if you want to make the same kind of fabric, it requires a lot of time, efforts and manpower, everything. So the material utilization is very important. That is why all these things, while preparing the marker, while cutting the panels in the cutting table, while spreading the fabric, there should be taking care of so many measures to prevent any damages of the fabric or damages are occurring in the process. Okay, so that is why it is very important. So you need to consider all the grain lines and center lines of the panels, and it should be matched with the fabric stripes. Then only you can able to get a good quality of the cut components, so that you will get the garment good quality. Nothing but, so if it is not matched, then there is no use of the garment. The garment cannot be exported or the garment cannot be accepted by the buyer. Okay. And next one, you can see that I have shown in the image the pocket, specifically the pocket I have shown. So you can see that the pocket is matching with a grain line of a particular fabric. So the stripes has to be followed from the, say for example, we have a pocket and the front bodies stripes and the pocket stripes has to be followed. Then only, if you have seen from the long or the nearer to the particular garment, so if it is not matched, then it is like the appearance of the garment is going to spoil. So that is why the front panel of the garment and the pocket of the garment should be matched. As I shown in this image, you can observe that the front bodies of the panel and the pocket of your stripes are matched perfectly. Okay, so if it is not matched, then it is awkward, the appearance of the garment is going to be spoiled. So that is why it is very important to match the pocket and the front bodies of the particular garment. So any component, if it is like attaching to the body parts like shirt or anything else, so you have to match the stripes or checks into particular garment. Okay, so if it is the length direction, only you have to consider the stripes in the length direction. If it is in the weft direction, that is horizontal stripes, then you have to consider the horizontal grains, horizontal stripes you need to consider. And if it is a checks, then both warp direction as well as the weft direction, that is in the length direction as well as in the width direction, both the directions you need to match the component, one component to the other component. Okay, so that is the thing. This is an example how we have to match the components to keep the two components at one place. And you can see here the marker consisting of 3 sections and pattern pieces of 2 sizes. For example, if you have a 2 sizes of patterns, 40 one size, 40 second size, or like 40 size and 38 size. These 2 sizes are there in the particular image. You can observe that panel 1 40 size, panel 1 41, panel 2 42, 43, 44, like panels they have divided. 38 size 1 2 3 4 panels. So if you observe that the panels of each and every size are going to be kept in such a manner that these all the components has to be matched with the grain lines as well as the pattern in the fabric, and the wastage should be very minimum. Nothing but the component, the pattern to pattern has to be perfectly aligned, and you need to consider the wastage of the fabric after keeping these panels. Okay, so marker consisting of these 3 sections, and you can see that the sizes how they have arranged all the panels in the marker. And you can observe that there are some points matching of stripes on the side edges. For example, if you want to match the front bodies to the back bodies, then you need to have some matching points. So the matching points are like you are going to give the notches or particular cut parts into the panels or into the pattern. While making the pattern, you need to give the notches and drills. So because of by these notches and drills, you need to have an idea. So these 2 points should be matched perfectly. So while preparing the marker, we need to consider these 2 panels are going to be attached in the further process. So these 2 has to be matched. So these matching points should be at one place. Then we need to have a good marker so that the cut components or panels are going to be perfectly cut, and you can get the output garment product is good quality. And you can also see here marker consisting of 2 sections here, and specifically like front bodies and back bodies are kept at one side, and the sleeves and other parts are kept on the other side. So by considering all these grain lines and everything, okay, and you can see here, observe that the weft-wise stripes or cross direction stripes are there, and if the cross direction stripes are there, then if you want cross direction, then you need to keep the panels in the length direction. If you want the stripes in the long direction, then you need to keep the panels in the opposite direction. So you can observe that in the previous images what we have is, see this particular image, the length direction where we have. So you can see here. So the panels are matched. So the body part or sleeve, if you observe that the sleeve is arranged in the length direction. Now you can see this particular image. You can see here. Now how they have kept? By considering the stripes, they have changed the direction of the sleeves and front bodies and back bodies of the garment. So according our quality requirements, as per the quality requirement, we need to change the directions, and but what is the considerations are, we need to match the stripes or pattern into the particular panel or into the particular pattern. Okay, so that is should be there. Then the oblique placement of pattern pieces. Now you can see that the oblique pattern placements, just I'll give you a small example figure here. You can observe here. So both are matching, but it is in the oblique placement. So nothing but asymmetrical striped, but it is like an angular. So biased or obliquely cut skirt it is. Okay. So these kind of patterns are going to be like cutting position and direction of your placing the patterns on the marker is going to be different, and accordingly we are cutting so that you will get the component and you are going to stitch the garment. So it looks like an oblique placement of the pattern pieces. So nothing but the pattern pieces, you are changing the directions. So directly not into the length direction to our horizontal direction, whatever the angle you required, you can place the panels, or you can place the patterns on the particular marker. So you can see here the placement of pattern pieces, bell skirt obliquely. So if you observe that the pattern is rotated, tilted. So in an angle they have tilted, but you can observe that one panel to the other panel, they have matched the, whatever the match points are there, they have matched the stripes of the fabric. Okay, so that is a major thing to get good kind of appearance of the fabric or garment. And marker making for styles made from the fabric with checks. So if you have checks, like I told, the check fabrics are different types, like warp wise symmetric and weft wise asymmetric. Warp wise and weft wise both are symmetric and both are asymmetric, and warp wise is asymmetric and weft wise is symmetric. So there are different four different types of fabrics are there. So you can see that while preparing or while keeping your patterns on the marker or on the fabric, by considering the fabric as a checks, so you need to match the length direction as well as the width direction. Nothing but the grain lines should be in the length direction as well as the weft direction. You need to match both. Then only your garment components or cut components are going to be matched after the garment preparation process. Okay. So body components united in one section, and I have shown in the image, same I explained, and after cutting the components are going to be looks like, and the both should be matched. So that is why in between the two components they have lines. So the checks part has to be matched with the one component to the other component. Okay, then you can see that the example of this checked pattern on the front side and the side way. So you can see here the front side, so front bodies to the back bodies it is matching, and two front bodies with button only, right? But front bodies, right hand side and the left hand side, both are matched. Okay, so while making the marker, while cutting, so you need to see all these considerations. And along with that, you can observe that the side part of the panel, okay, side part of the pattern of the garment, so back bodies to the front bodies it is matching. So the perfect matching can be occur if you follow the grain lines in the length direction as well as the width direction or cross direction. Okay, so you can observe that the pockets also going to be matched with the body parts. So the again I told, the length direction as well as the weft direction or cross direction has to be matched. Okay, so then only the pockets are going to be matched or perfectly matched to the bodies of the garment. Okay, so you can see that. So specifically, like you can see one more image of the pocket which is matching. So matching of pattern of the front and the patch pocket. You can see that the patch also, it is a patch pocket, nothing but separately it was fixed on the bodies. So both are matching. Okay, and you can see that how the front bodies and how the even the sleeves also, you can observe that the bodies and the sleeves are matched. So the stripes of the or the checks of the bodies as well as the stripes of the sleeve as matched together. Okay, and you can see that the fabric allowance around pattern pieces in the marker with two sections. So like all the sides we are going to leave some place or fabric allowances, and including allowances in between the patterns also. So pattern to pattern there should be an allowance. Otherwise what will happen, if you club or if you closely keep while cutting, there may be displacement of the panels can occur, or displacement of the knife can be occur. So you can increase or decrease some patterns like that can be happen. So that is why there should be an allowance in between the patterns so that you can perfectly cut, or you can, if you have excess amount of fabric, you can trim it after the cutting. But generally in the cutting section itself, they will take care and they will perfectly cut the components so that you will get the good quality of the garment. So these are the, again, some of the examples how the matching of patterns are going to be there, and combined sections in one marker. Like in one marker, usually several sections are combined into one marker. So to enable the fabric for them to spread the one single operation. So nothing but there are different sections and all the sections are going to be clubbed or combined in the one marker. So sometimes what will happen, if we have an order quantity of different sizes, all the different sizes can be going to make in a one marker, and then this marker is going to be kept on the fabric place, then the cutting can be done. So all the sections can be combined. So you can see that the fabrics with the symmetrical checks, and how these opposite direction, how two sizes in the two sections are going to be kept in one marker. So the components, if you observe, the leg parts are going to be matched and opposite side they have kept. And if you can observe that the checked pattern, placement of pattern pieces on checked fabric, coordinating the fabric or patterns of front and sleeves. So the front part as well as the sleeves part. So I told that matching points or notches are there. So by considering the notches and the matching points, they are going to match the sleeves and the bodies. Then they will prepare the marker. So the marker is going to be prepared. So by considering so many factors, not only one or two. So these are the factors like fabric is and check patterns. Patterns is one of the factor by considering this preparation of the marker. Okay, and you can see here the pattern pieces are placed in opposite direction to give symmetrical patterns on the symmetrical components. Okay, and you can see that the example of like a marker on the fabric with symmetrical checks not producing a symmetrical pattern on the symmetrical component. So nothing but asymmetrical patterns are going to be kept. And if you consider the printed designs of the fabric, for example, so till now what we have discussed is the fabric patterns or fabric style, that is stripes, symmetrical stripes in the warp direction as well as the weft direction, asymmetrical patterns in the warp direction and weft direction, symmetrical checks and asymmetrical checks. So all we have seen in the structure of the fabric. Now if you have a fabrics with printed designs, so how these printed designs are going to be made? So the border design, marker making in material with border patterns across the fabric width. So if you have like these patterns, now when and how we are going to place, you can see that the generally like you can observe that the ladies garments are going to have some printed designs at the bottom of the tops. So the top you can observe that 1 and 2 pattern pieces. So the particular bottom part of the panel they have kept in the printed design, and these printed designs are going to be matched in the length direction as well as the width direction. Okay, so other components, if we don't want any kind of print, then you can utilize the empty place of the fabric or free space which is not having any print. And if you want like sometimes what will happen, like some of the garments like the sleeve part there is a printed design, bottom part. So in that case the bottom, that sleeves, half hand sleeves are going to be matched particularly onto the printed design. So you can observe that. I will show you 1 or 2 images, and the similarly like some of the shirts or some of the party wear shirts or party wear garments, you can observe that ornamental designs. So in that case, particularly they'll see that which pattern or which component has to have a printed design. So the particular component is going to be placed in the particular place. Okay, then remaining place they can utilize for the remaining components or remaining patterns. Okay, similarly, like this is one more type. The both edges of the fabric is having the prints, and one side of the edge or one side of the border having the printed design. And you can see that if you have two sides of the fabric edge printed design, then how you can utilize the pattern and how you can arrange the patterns on the fabric. And you can see that these are the few examples where the printed patterns are available and where you can utilize these kind of printed fabrics in the particular application. Okay, so this is the reference book for particular topic, and you can refer this book for getting more information and more idea about this topic. Till then, thanks for listening and bye. So we will discuss in the next session. That too, in the next session, we are going to discuss about what are the spreading technique. What is spreading? What are the spreading techniques are? So till then, thanks for listening. Bye.